Welcome back to Reimagining Our Faith. Today, we will continue with our study into bread. I don't know about you, but I have decided that bread is definitely my favorite food group. It's better than dessert, meats, and veggies. I've tried all sorts of breads: garlic, pumpkin, sourdough, rye, wheat, banana bread. That list just keeps on going. What's your favorite kind of bread? Well, my favorite is really banana nut bread. And I have to say, I have tried most kinds, but there is one that I have never gotten to try. It's manna that the Old Testament describes. That privilege was given to the Israelites who were wandering in the wilderness after the Exodus from Egypt. To think that God gave them everything that they needed, and they still complained. I don't know about you, but I think I would be a part of that group that complained too. You see, Numbers 11:4-6 says, "Now the rabble that was among them had a strong craving, and the people of Israel also wept again and said, 'Oh, that we had meat to eat. We remember the fish we ate in Egypt that cost nothing, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. But now our strength is dried up, and there is nothing at all but this manna to look at.'" Imagine going from this diet to a diet of a single flaky sweet grain. When you research what manna was like, it was like a sweet cake of goodness. Can you imagine this goodness just falling from the sky? They didn't have to do anything to make it or to create it. It was simply provided. And to think that God could have provided something like that and the people didn't like it and didn't want to eat it and said it wasn't good. Just imagine how God creating something so good from a single grain, much like how we should rely on God and that single times and not on themselves. But even with all of this goodness, the Israelites were not happy and content. No, they grumbled. Why? I wonder if the Israelites claimed to, quote, remember the good old days with all of that food, but they were in bondage. You see, they seemed to focus on one small part of their good old days while they ignored the bitter, the hard, the bondage of those days in the past. It seems that the Israelites fell in love with their life in Egypt, even though it was bitter and hard. They did not look to the future that God was providing, to the land of milk and honey. And to think the Israelites were bored and complaining about manna, the sweetness of God. I can't even imagine how God must have felt to see his children being ungrateful and grumbling and dissatisfied. Must have caused God much pain. I know that when I've tried to provide what I think is best for my own children and it's not met with gratitude, how hurtful it can be. It must make me stop and to think about God's provisions. Sometimes his provisions is not quite as I want it to be or think that he will provide, but he does provide. I must stop and ask myself, am I looking for his provision or am I looking for what I want provided? Am I relying on God's sweetness for my life, or am I wanting it to be how I want it to be with my desires? We must realize God is our provider. We must trust in his provision. We cannot despise what he provides. It is not God's job to entertain us or to indulge us in our every whim and desire. Here's a quote by Clark that really stuck with me as I researched this passage. Those Israelites, could never be satisfied. Even God himself could not please them because they were ever preferring their own wisdom to his. Oh, that made me search my heart and yield to his wisdom in things. I hope today you pause and consider your heart. Are you yielding to his desires and what God has planned for you? I want to challenge you to not be like the Israelites and to be satisfied with God's ways. Psalm 107:9 says, "For he satisfies the longing soul, and the hungry soul God fills with good things." So go today and trust in what God provides.